Plot summary of Boule De Suif by Guy de Maupassant. People in the French city of Rouen wait for the occupying Prussian army to arrive as tired French soldiers walk back from battle. When the Prussians get to the town, the people stop being scared. Some of them even become friends with the Prussian soldiers, while others hate them and sometimes kill the occupying soldiers. A lot of anger is in the air, but life must go on, and people will start making plans for the future at some point. Mr. Kerlamaden, Mr. Loiseau, and Count Herbert de Breville, who are all wealthy, decide one night to leave Rouen and do business in Le Havre, which is not occupied by the Prussians. The next day, they get their wives together and meet in front of a stagecoach that will take them and 4 other people through Normandy. 2 of the other 4 passengers are nuns who pray quietly and mumble most of the way. One is named Cornudet and is a Republican, and the other is Miss Rousset, who is a prostitute. Miss Rousset, who is also called Ball of Fat, is quickly made fun of and the center of attention in the carriage. The other women make it clear that she is not welcome and that her presence is embarrassing. But when the coach gets stuck in the snow and no one has eaten all day, Miss Rousset pulls a basket of food and wine out from under her skirt. The other people in the carriage will eventually change their minds about her, and one by one they will take her kind offer of food. All of a sudden, everyone gets along, and the group talks about politics and Prussians for the rest of the way. Miss Rousset tells the group about how she fought back against the soldiers who were living on her land. She also tells Cornudet off for liking the Republicans and not being loyal to Bonaparte. Still going much slower than expected, the group gets to the town of Totes at night and finds a place to stay. Here, they hear scary sounds, like French that is broken and has a strong German accent. A Prussian commander is waiting for them outside the carriage, so they have to get out. Even though German officers in Rouen gave everyone permission to travel, the group is still scared. They give the commander their papers, which say their names and what they do for a living. When everyone gets to the inn, dinner is served. Everyone looks pretty happy, even though they are all tired. Then, the innkeeper comes in with a strange request. The Prussian commander wants to talk to Miss Rousset alone. She says no at first, but the others convince her to go. "I'm doing this for you," she tells the group. She comes back angry, but she doesn't give him what he asked for. The subject is dropped while everyone eats dinner. People talk more about politics, war, and the bad things the enemy does. The next day, the group finds that the stagecoach wasn't ready for them. No one knows why it isn't ready, so Mr. Loiseau, Mr. Kerlamaden, and the Count walk into town to find the driver. Along the way, they find French townspeople living with Prussian soldiers, who help the French townspeople in kind ways. The men are surprised and a little annoyed, but someone from the town tells them that these soldiers are also people and that poor people in any country need to look out for each other. The men keep going until they find their driver. When they do, the driver tells them that the Prussian commander told him not to get the carriage ready. No one understands why. Later that night, Miss Rousset tells the others that the Prussian officer told her he wanted to sleep with her. This is shocking to everyone. But the next morning, when the 6 wealthy travelers wake up, they are angry and upset. They are angry with Miss Rousset because she is the reason they are stuck, even though it is clearly the fault of the officer. When the richer people in the group think about her low social status and her job, they all come to the same bad conclusion. Since it's her job, why should she refuse this one more than another? In other words, they told her that she should go against her morals and sleep with the officer so that the group could be set free. The next day, the richer travelers talk about how to get Miss Rousset to do what they want. Instead of asking her directly, they decide to bring it up at dinner and talk about other times in history when people gave up things for the greater good. Even the 2 nuns add to the tension, though not on purpose, when they tell Miss Rousset that in religious life, the act is judged by the intention behind it. Miss Rousset is solemn and quiet. Later that night, she gives in and does what everyone wanted her to do. She sleeps with the German officer. While she is doing it, the others find out and brag about how smart their plan is. The next day, the group leaves. Miss Rousset is so busy getting ready in the morning that she forgets to bring food. The other people in the group have baskets full of food, but no one will even look at Miss Rousset, let alone give her any of their food. The three married women talk nonsense about high society to keep the prostitute out of the conversation. Miss Rousset is hurt by the other people's lies and the act she had to put up with, and the story ends with her quietly crying in the corner of the northbound carriage.
About the author. Guy de Maupassant was born to a family from the middle class in northern France in 1893. Even though they had enough money, his mother and father often fought, and when he was 11, they split up. His mother, who was very smart and liked to read, mostly shaped his upbringing. She would read him Shakespeare and hire a tutor to teach him Latin, math, and grammar. After going to a religious boarding school that he hated so much that he purposely got himself kicked out of, Maupassant went to a specialized high school in Rouen. In 1868, he met Gustave Flaubert, who would have a huge impact on both his writing and his life. 2 years later, he took a break from his studies to join the French-German War. In the 1880s, Maupassant wrote a lot and was commercially successful, but by 1890, his health was getting worse because he had gotten syphilis many years before. Maupassant died at the age of 43, but he wrote more than 300 works during his life. People often call him the father of modern short stories. Boule De Suif was one of the first things he wrote that was published.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.